Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm going to speak up a bit because I'm in this lovely breeze and breezes here are rare. Right, now let me just clarify something. When I say Harry the Worm, what I mean is Harry worming his way back in, or trying to, with the family. I don't know if you can see me on this or not. Graham always says, oh, you terrible lighting. Where's Thomas Markle when we need him? Anyway, so let's clarify that. Now, it was only a few weeks ago that I made a certain video where basically what I like to do is read between the lines. We all know that Harry has been or is still back in the UK and went to his uncle's funeral where Prince William was also at. Now, let's cast our mind back a few weeks to a previous video that I did where I suggested that he would worm his way back in with the Spencers first. Cue. Now, this closer article hints that Harry is going to go and spend time with, they refer to his family. Right? Now, I seriously doubt that means Balmoral. His family, I suspect, means Althorpe, Earl Spencer, Diana's side of the family. That wasn't a bad guess, actually. I'm going to move this because the breeze is getting a bit strong now. Oh my god! All my professional filming techniques, and I've got to carry a brick because my phone charger wasn't plugged in last night. I plugged a phone in, but the socket. Anyway, right. Not a bad guess, was it? That when that puff piece came out that said that, and there's a shocker in this because I was shocked last night. I've got some, oh that's better, I can see myself now. There was a shocker that came in 10 minutes after news broke that Harry had gone to his uncle's funeral in Norfolk. Right, where shall I start? And I want to make sure I get all of this in. Firstly, I don't think Prince William wanted to see him at all. And he probably wants nothing to do with him ever again. But the puff piece a few weeks ago was saying Harry was going to spend a few weeks in the UK because he'd need to. He can't just do a flying visit, Hyde Park, and I have a few million. It's going to take a little bit more work than that, isn't it? Now, I would imagine he's not particularly welcome at Balmoral or any of the royal residences, but he does have another side of the family, and his mother's anniversary is coming up. And his birthday's coming up, and I guessed that it would probably be the Spencers. I'd already realised that before they attended his Invictus thing. That, I mean, since when has Harry shown particular interest in the Spencers? Come on, in all these years, yes, they're his family, yes, he has been at events with them, but they've never really been his big focus, especially not the late Lord Fellows. Or were they particularly close? I'm sorry, forgive me. I don't think they were. I don't recall. Oh, Harry loves his Uncle Lord Fellows. Oh, Harry loves... I'm sorry, no. And then, this is the most amusing part. Actually, sod it, I'll go inside. I'll suffer for you guys. I'll sweat. Nothing can be as bad as those false eyelashes. Oh my god, where are we going now? Right. So, I don't know, maybe it's like it's really dark. Maybe my phone thinks it's bloody night time. So, here we have it, that he is attending basically a Spencer funeral. I know Lord Fellows was not Spencer, but obviously Lady Fellows, yes. Princess Diana's sister. And hey presto, there he is. Now, the Spencers would not turn Harry away for a funeral. Can you imagine the scene? So William's there, and you can imagine William's face. Oh, God. I mean, this is just a theory. This is just a gossip between you and me. All right, these are my theories, and I'm sure you guys got your own theories. But this is how I see it. And this is why a lot of the videos that I do, and I read the PR, because each camp is trying to get their message out, and they do it in different ways. Some do it more successfully than others, obviously. But anyway, this is the juicy bit. 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes last night, after I saw the headline, Harry had attended the funeral, a People magazine came out. Now, I'm not going to read it out. I'm going to give you my interpretation, reading between the lines, and I'll put a link, because you may not agree. Let's cast our mind back to the engagement interview. A lot of you are like me. We watched it and thought, something's kind of off here. I'm not sure about this girl, woman, old lady that he wants to marry. I'm only joking. But I didn't know exactly what it was. It took me a long time to process it and think about it and think, and now I know exactly what I didn't like. Oh, I never heard of Harry before. Yeah, really. Oh, and he designed a ring all by himself. You know, stuff like that. So I read this article and it came across very much to me as if Meghan had written it. But it was People magazine, so let's go along with People magazine. Apparently, People magazine didn't think Harry was going to go to this funeral. People magazine will release a statement later. People magazine don't know what's going on. So I deduce that someone is very angry and not very happy that someone snuck off behind someone's back to go to a funeral. Now, I could be wrong, could be all part of a big master plan between her and Harry, but interestingly enough, it wasn't leaked in advance, was it? Far from it. It reminds me of Omid Scobie saying our late Majesty's body would be transported on the royal train. Oh, William really caught Scobie and Meghan out on that one, didn't he? And I wonder, perhaps William knew that Harry was going and he said, look, I'm going to set a challenge for you. Let's see if you can turn up without any leaks. And I'll give you a hint, Hazza. Don't tell your missus, because it's bound to get leaked. And this is your final chance. I doubt it. What I'm thinking is that Harry just found his balls. I've said for a long time, I deeply, deeply suspect, just looking at the practicalities of life and how they conduct themselves, that they ran out of money a long time ago. I reckon he is in debt. And, well, obviously, no matter how in love he is, he's a famous prince, and there's that cushy life if he would just grovel a little bit and maybe worm his way in. And even if the Windsors don't want to know, well, Althorpe's a pretty nice estate. It's certainly a lot easier going, and I wouldn't mind betting he's tucked up at Althorpe right now. I mean, maybe not. I'm suspecting that. He could have flown straight back to Madam to be with her. But I'm suspecting he's at Althorpe right now because obviously the late Princess Diana's anniversary is coming up. And well, I suppose William probably won't, he'll avoid that. He'll think, oh, God. But isn't it interesting? And it's coming thicker, thicker, faster, faster. And I suspect that the sources coming out of the palace and Balmoral about talk of removal from the line of succession, talk of setting Harry free, removing his titles, he can just be Harry, just Harry. That's what he's wanted. All the burdens of being born a prince. So, interesting, isn't it? And it sounds to me, the impression I'm getting is that Meghan is very much going off doing her own thing, but he's not happy. Now then, this morning, I search Meghan Markle and I search Prince Harry. When I search Meghan Markle here, there are a ton of puff pieces saying, oh, Meghan, oh, it's so old news. Oh, Meghan wants to reconcile with the royal family. Oh, Meghan has moved on. Everything is about forgiveness. Oh, isn't it interesting? I do wonder, has the money run out? Because that could create a change of heart, which a lot of us, who, let's face it, were attacked and accused a couple of years ago by people like Christopher Boozy, do I need to drive that one home, and Omid Scobie and Ellie Hall, saying, oh, you Brits are just sour, that Meghan and Harry don't want your royal family. Oh, talk about a 180 in the other direction. And maybe people will be begging, and I should imagine the begging, the screaming, imagine a toddler when you say no to a treat or sweets or something, all the different threats, angry, oh, please, all that. I think we're going to see an acceleration of that. But to bring me back to my point about the Spencers, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have any insider contacting the royal family, Spencer family, nothing like that. All I can go on, same as you guys, is when the puff pieces come out. Puff pieces from Meghan's camp, or when the royals want to put some PR out. I don't call them puff pieces. And we discern things. And a lot of people say, you know, oh, you're giving her publicity by reading the puff pieces, by analysing it. Damn right, because I want to find out what her next move is. Damn right. I don't care if she gets attention. That's going to happen anyway. Right? And she's going to get a lot of very unwelcome attention in the next year or so, I would imagine. And that is the kind of attention I've been waiting for, when truth and some honesty and some justice comes forward. And those of us that have been on the receiving end of hideous lies don't feel exasperated thinking, oh my God, even the royal family get this. Liars win, liars win. You know, that's how it feels. So no, of course I wasn't calling Harry a worm. I would not call Harry a worm. Well, I might do off camera. But I do feel he is trying to worm his way in. Now, if he knew, and he probably did know in his own heart, that William was going to attend the funeral, well, if I'm right, and he just decided to go to force the situation where he would be in close proximity to his brother, who doesn't want to know, well, that's really, isn't that? That is like on the belly, sneaking into the church. I may be doing Harry a great disservice. Perhaps he and the late Lord Fellows, I don't know, played PlayStation together on many happy occasions. Perhaps they played ping pong or tiddlywinks or something like that. Maybe they even smoked the odd together and went out on the piss. I don't know, the late Lord Fellows doesn't really strike me as Harry's kind of guy. But you never know, do you? Because Princess Diana, I don't think, always got on with her brother-in-law. I mean, families, what can you do? But yes, so I think he's going to be, this just a guess, and I could be completely wrong. I'm certainly not going to say this is fact and, oh yeah, my mate at the palace called me up and told me this shit, or Althorpe. I would imagine he's going to be tucked up with Earl Spencer and family, and he'll probably visit the island. And he probably will start hanging around pubs and pop up to Scotland and start trying to burrow his way into Balmoral, which I think I said that as well a few weeks ago. What about Harry? Oh, you're out the equation, dude. You're back in the UK for the next 4 weeks, grovelling and digging secret tunnels into Balmoral to see if you can get access to your father, I suppose. Yeah, I think I might have said something like that. And the idea of a divorce, a split, yes, I think he wants out. I think he wants to get away from her. It could all be part of a cunning plan where he convinces the family, either family, that he wants to divorce. You know, it's all fine. She's gone. And then he's allowed back in, and then he goes, ha, only joking, I've reconciled with her, she's coming back. And they're all like, oh my God, dun, 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 dun. But is he intelligent enough to work that out? I don't think so. Is she intelligent enough to plan something like that? Yes, but it wouldn't be the kind of plan that she could control. She likes to be there with him, to steer him, because, you know, he fucks things up. So, I don't know. I'm just guessing he's thought, you know, she's losing her looks. She was a good shag back in the day. I really thought I was in love, but actually it was just sex. I hope YouTube's okay with all this. I mean, you know, he was thinking with his dick and balls, and he's thinking, well, you know, the shine's worn off. She just yells at me all the time. Sex is few and far between. She's getting a bit wrinkly now, you know. There are younger birds. I've got women coming at me all the time because I'm Prince Harry. Oh, I was born a prince. Oh, the burdens of being born a prince. Oh, perhaps I'm being too harsh on him, especially as and it's William's mother's anniversary. And also, it was a few months ago, someone said, I'm sure it was an official sort of thing, William will be in New York in September. Now, apparently not, because Harry's going to be in New York in September. And that kind of reminds me of, you know, Princess of Wales, I believe, couldn't go to Balmoral when the late Majesty was dying because, you know, Meghan. And Harry confirmed that himself in his book when he phoned his father up. Had a big row about Meghan. Can Meghan go to Balmoral? Because the Our Late Majesty really wanted to see Meghan. Yeah, right. And then Prince Charles, as he was then, saying, well, Catherine's not going. Oh, you only had to say that in the first place. So, I mean, I think we all collectively as a group called that one. So that's what I'm thinking. I mean, like I said, I could be wrong. He could be flying back to be in his lovey-dovey nest. He's going somewhere, New York in September. But they can always cancel engagements, can't they? It would depend what sort of carrots are dangled, how desperate people can be, what people are willing to accept, or how drunk somebody gets and they might just forget that they've got commitments back in New York. Anything at this stage in the game is possible, I believe. What do you believe? I mean, it's like I say, this is just us having a bit of a gossip. There is no fact in any of this at all. Well, the fact is he went to the funeral and William was there, so they were in close proximity. William probably did know he was going to be there because William's got the security forces, and they would have said, you know, because Harry would have to land with a passport. Then I bet you there's a big pinger on Harry's name, and especially Meghan's. So you can see all the bat phones going off left, right and centre. She's in the UK. She just cleared immigration at Heathrow. Oh my God. Pull the drawbridge up. So William probably did know that Harry was there. In the UK, might not have known that he'd have the front to turn up at the church. I don't know. And even if he did, you know, William, apart from being the Prince of Wales and having a ton of security, you know, he's a big lad, and it wouldn't be the first time he's kicked Harry's head in. And I saw a lot of people on the Daily Mail commenting and saying it's good that the two brothers behaved themselves in a dignified way in a church. And yeah, they're not going to brawl in a church, but then people leave the church and can be approached and can have a conversation in a graveyard or for a walk. So I suspect that, well, this is a bit of a big thing. I don't think William wants him anywhere near. I really don't. I wouldn't if I was in William's shoes, but I guess it's up to him. But I really don't think so. And I don't that People magazine, go read that. It's so funny because to me it comes across as a fucking, like, she found out at the same time as the rest of the world that Harry was back in the UK. Yes. Sorry to sound too delighted, but, you know, as you guys know, we've had a lot of liars in our lives that have done damage, and it is rather delicious when they get their comeuppance. It does give one a little bit more faith in humanity, justice, the Lord God above, etc., etc. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening to my rambling, gossip, theories, bullshit. Definitely not facts, disinformation, misinformation. Well, that'll do the trick for YouTube, won't it? Because I think I got away with that yesterday, you know. Thank you for the makeup tips. Some of you I don't think got the joke, but a lot of you did.